ZForce is getting a skid plate. Iron Baltic. We're gonna lift this baby up. There she is. Yep. Let her up.
Yeah, I got this strap here. We'll put them on the 8 arms, give it a little bit of safety from the safety aspect of it. Besides that, I get a workout for me.
I can do it if you want. Anybody wants to send us a hoist, let us know. We'll test it.
I say so. It'll be good. Go around and start making adjustments.
Looks like a truck under there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Where do you want this? On the top?
Yep.
Okay. So that's what the underside of a ZForce Gen 2 950 looks like.
We're gonna lower it down a little bit.
Okay.
So the weight took, we gotta get to that front.
Mike over here at MFR with manual ingenuity. And there she is.
Hi, puppy dog. Hi, puppy dog. Hi, puppy dog.
Okay, I'll put a jack stand under the front. Too.
I'm thinking like the bumper jacks. I'm like, that ain't gonna work. Or full jack. That ain't gonna work. What are you, high? Alright.
Well, let's see what we got.
We gotta show everybody because we're showing them what this is. You're committed now.
Yep.
Man, they really packaged that.
Yeah.
Kevlar. I'm anxious to see what kind of hits are under there. So this is, Mike, help me, HDE, HP?
HDE.
And aluminum.
Aluminum, yep.
Yep.
So here's your
Wow,
center.
look how thick that is. Yeah, that's like, resembles the CFMoto skid plates and,
But they're really thin. CFMotos.
yeah.
Yeah, they're really
Yeah.
thin.
These are nice.
Yeah.
Nice and thick. And those go under the
This would be your side.
sides.
Yep.
Yep, rock slides. I don't intend on sliding any rocks. Don't scratch it up.
Try not to. Be very careful with
It's a skid plate, dude.
it. Yeah, but you want your first scratches coming from the trail. It's not
Yeah, that's true.
coming from in here. Here's your center. There's your nose.
Yeah, there's the arms. They got everything marked. Number 9, number 8,
Yep.
number 6, number 7. And hardware. Actually, it doesn't look like it has a plate on the nose. That's good.
You're right.
You lucked out.
You're right.
It's already got one. It doesn't need one.
That stays there. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that.
And the handy dandy, check these out. Instructions.
Instructions.
We don't use instructions. Look at that bag of bolts and washers. Dear God. Do you know why that is? Let me show you. Let me show you. Look at all these bolts that gotta come out. But I will say it's pretty well put together. You can see how thin the CFMoto skid plates are. I'm going to be honest with you, that's one of my pet peeves. I'm not trying to take business away from the skid plate manufacturers, but I think people would end up paying a little bit more if CFMoto would give the option to have a little bit thicker, a little bit beefier skid plate. That's just me. But if my dealer said, hey, for $500 we can include blah, I would do it. But therefore, Iron Baltic gets the business. Oh dear God. Look at that. So right now we're laying out everything. Mike's getting all, and see how they have them all numbered: 13, 16, 11, 10, all the 12s. I mean, these are self-explanatory.
Yep.
That's great. We did it on Troy's 800XC, and he got the plastic skid plate, just as thick as this.
Right.
And the instructions were horrible.
Really?
And I want to say it was like the CFMoto plastic skid plate.
Yep, yep.
And it was brutal.
Oh,
Brutal. Wow. And it was so hard to install. So hard to install. It was tough. Troy will even tell you. Troy, comment on the video. It was hard.
Yeah, they really did a good job packaging this stuff up.
Yeah.
They just throw everything in a box and not even number it. You have no idea what's going on.
No, and you got to use the instructions. You got to like. You ever put together the furniture back in like the 90s?
Oh, yeah.
That you had to put the bolt on the piece of paper to get the size.
Yep.
But you need 2 of these, 6 of these.
Well, here's a really good example. So this is number 11, and it's only 1.
Okay.
Here's number 10, and there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Here's the difference.
Yeah, that one's bent.
Yep.
That one's curved.
There's a reason for that it's separated.
Yeah. Wow.
So you can't just throw a 10 on there and think it's going to
struggle.
work.
Yeah, then you'll be struggling, wondering why, because you used this one somewhere else, and now you got to take the whole thing apart.
Exactly.
All right. I've never had a carpet rolled out for me before. He rolled out the blue carpet. That must be special, not the red carpet.
Somebody has mud on all this shit.
Oh, good.
Here's the side.
There you go. Want to hold it up there? I'll hold it.
Now the other thing is
There's a curvature.
right. Is this the top, or is this the top?
The shiny part,
Would be the bottom.
yes, is the bottom. Is that a test?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because you can't tell by the picture.
No. Yeah, I see that. This is like a mat.
Yep.
At least the other skid plate I installed with Troy's was glossy on the bottom, but it might have been glossy on both sides, Mike. Maybe you want to put it in there and look at the curve.
And that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Because this is a longer part. Is this there's the motor, so the longer part goes to the rear. Here's the curve. I guess it wouldn't matter. You could flip it if it's, but you got to watch in case your poles are
There's
offset.
only one way to do it,
Yep.
and it's this way.
Okay.
Because here the frame goes up,
Yep.
which matches this.
Yep. Okay.
So
Oh yeah, because long way. Right.
yep, if those holes are there,
Nope.
nope, there is only one way.
Yep. And that long way is in the rear.
Yep. So this is the bottom. Shiny is bottom.
So guys, make sure you pay attention to your instructions very closely. There's multiple things going on here. You got to piece all this together.
Yeah, it's the one thing.
It helps if you have a friend holding the
A
camera.
lot of seen quite a few reviews about this part here being such a pain, and it kind of is, to be honest. Now it's up to you. We can do it. We're only starting right now. If you want to use Loctite on this stuff, I'll leave it up to you, being the owner.
What would you do?
I did not, because my thought.
I didn't use Loctite on any of my skid plates, and they're still there.
Yeah, well, not only that, my thought is, if you Loctite it down and you have to remove it, it's not the easiest to remove.
Right.
Because if you go to take it off to clean underneath,
right,
it's a pain in the ass.
Or get to something, like say
Right.
there's damage under there, like you have a component in the motor and they got to get under to get a, you know, a couple mounts under there. I don't know.
Exactly.
And then the dealer, if they're doing it, they're going to really ridiculously charge you because you
right.
Loctited them.
Yep.
So I haven't experienced any issue. Does it recommend Loctite?
No.
And I wouldn't use it. If that thing flexes, that thing comes apart and loosens, there's a problem with the machine, not the skid plate.
It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, the instructions could be in Chinese.
Absolutely. Or not have any
But
at
then
all.
Iron Baltic wouldn't be selling it.
That's right. Yep, dirt in the eye makes mud. Yep. Need wing and wing. 13, 17, 12.
What do you need down on the bottom?
Okay.
That makes it easier.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Yep. We'll go through all of these again quick. Just like that, she's all done.
You are the man. We just finished up, actually Mike with MFR just finished up installing an Iron Baltic skid plate on the 2025 ZForce 950 Sport. I gotta tell you, watching him install this thing, if you don't have a lift of some sort, it's gonna be a total pain in the butt.
It is. It is. I saw a couple of videos with guys trying to do some kind of a ramp on one side and tilting it way up in the air, and I thought about that too, but I didn't like it. That felt to me more unsafe than anything. You know, what we did with the archway and, you know, ratcheting up and then chaining it to the arch, you know, I felt really safe with that. So
This skid plate consisted of both front and rear A-arms, so that's 4 pieces. And then there were 3 plates that run down the middle. One in the front, one in the midsection or the belly, and then one at the rear, which goes from the hitch all the way up to the midsection. We did struggle a little bit, well, Mike struggled a little bit. When you remove the stock plastic skid plate, a lot of the outer parts of the plastic have a tendency to kind of shift away from the holes that you have to hit when you're putting the skid plate on. So there was a moment where Mike had to...
I had to take a die grinder and open the hole up just a little bit. So what happened was, with it just being off a little bit, and from the original skid plate, there's the plastic side was wedged in between, and when it did, it kind of formed to that. So in order to get everything lined up correctly and for that cup to fall in place, I had to take a die grinder to open the hole up a little bit.
And what he means is the hole in the aluminum skid plate, which is not a big deal, but some people might not have that at home. You were lucky enough to have that tool, and known to open that up. So most people, myself, would have said, I'm not putting it in. But Mike was determined. He didn't quit. It took a little bit of finesse, but the skid plate took a little bit longer than normal because of that scenario we ran to. When we got over to the other side of the underbelly on the outer parts, and I'll show you what they look like. They almost look like, kind of like, the skid plate comes up and wraps around the sides under the doors, kind of like rock sliders. And when we got to the other side, bing, 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 he was able to get it on in a couple minutes. So overall, because this was lifted, you had all the tools. 2 of us here, I was helping put all the bolts and everything together. How long do you think it took? If we didn't run into that issue?
If we didn't run into that issue, I'd say maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay.
It was about where we were at. And we really took our time and kind of looking at things where we really didn't have a plan laid out. And we actually looked at the instructions too, because, you know, a lot of guys, they don't look at instructions. You know, we did. And Iron Baltic is very good with the instructions. They're very, very detailed in everything, from what bolt to take off and where it goes, and how to position it, and they're very good with explaining how it goes together, which is very impressive, because a lot of places, they don't do that. They just give you a couple of pictures here and there, and because they know most guys don't read instructions. They're there for a very good reason. I myself don't read a lot of instructions, but something in this case where you don't want it falling off in the middle of a run either.
No.
If you're going down a trail, you don't want it rattling either.
Rattle.
Nope. So you want to make sure it's nice and secured and whatnot. So it's very important.
I tend to lean towards the pictures with instructions with pictures. Do this, point A to point B. I can handle that. But when you start throwing in, I mean, the Iron Baltic instructions were very detailed. I myself, before this, have installed 2 skid plates on 2 800XCs. There's a blue one that rode on our group. We did a plastic HDPE skid plate on his. Great skid plate, but from the manufacturer, the instructions, I might as well just threw them over my shoulder. They were brutal. Yeah. And then I installed another manufacturer on my ATV, and those instructions were money. So Iron Baltic, shout out to you. Your instructions were spot on. Great job. We weren't short any hardware. It went on. Aside from that one issue, it was a breeze. It was pretty straightforward. The hardest part anyone is going to have is getting underneath this. I couldn't imagine laying under it.
No, that's
brutal.
Crazy. Absolutely.
Brutal. Or getting it hoisted in the air. But once I've seen people tilt these over on the side. So if you have another guy with a winch or a friend that comes over, you can tilt it over on the side, but you got to be careful how far you go. Right. Because then you run the risk of it tipping over and laying on its side. Right. So big shout out to MFR. MFR contributed this skid plate to our ZForce 950, and I can't thank you enough for that. Absolutely. I appreciate it. Big shout out to Iron Baltic. Hop over and check out MFR. He's just kicking off. He's got some great content he's working on. He's on Facebook, YouTube. Are you on Instagram? Instagram. He is a fab and repair shop. So anybody local to the Pennsylvania area, you're looking for any work, check him out on Facebook, hit him up. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this video was useful. Give us a subscribe, give MFR a subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.